right, guys, welcome back to the Cash Flow System. Look, it's okay. Look, what we have is Don here. If we can give Don just a quick round of applause here in our audience. Then, Don, if you don't mind, when we get a moment, if you'll go ahead and go back and meet with my acquisition team back there, we're going to go ahead and write up a quick letter of intent and shoot one out to Mr. Fred and go ahead and rock and roll with that thing, put down our price and our terms that we need. Obviously, we're going to do our due diligence, and by doing our due diligence, we're going to make sure that we're not purchasing or taking over any type of a headache. And believe me, I'm going to go ahead and reiterate the master lease option to him. And I think once he understands it on paper, I'm going to give him two options. The all-cash purchase, which obviously we got him down from $500,000 all the way down to $360,000 with less than a 5-minute phone call. You guys like that? Okay. So because of that, that's one way. And the second way is to go ahead and clarify the master lease, which I'll do so. Like the last deal that we're also moving forward with on the master lease option as well. So you can get out there and you can make this happen. So Don, partner, make sure you get back there. We're going to get that letter of intent out today. Okay. Now, page 88, working with commercial brokers and agents. All right. First deal that we called on for the master lease, that was a broker. Second one was the owner. So when you're working with commercial brokers and agents, the sellers of commercial properties and brokers that list them need us as much, if not more, than we need them. You guys keep that in mind when you're out there calling on these deals once you find them. You're going to get them. You're going to get them just by doing what we did here. Any one of you could have gone on there and found the type of deal. Now, facilitating it, negotiating it, that's something that you're going to move forward with. And again, heavy lifting. But don't lose focus with unmotivated sellers and brokers. We want to do business with people who want to do business with us. That's the rule and the message. That's the continuous message here. All right? Always stick to your criteria. Don't get hung up on a deal. Write that up. Write that down. Don't get hung up on a deal or emotionally attached, even if it seems like the best deal in the whole world. Even if it meets the criteria, even if it meets everything, still don't get hung up on the deal. It's either a deal and we pass, a deal and we move forward, or it's a dud and we pass. That's it, guys. Just like I was on the call. You guys heard me. Very nonchalant. I kept my posture. I went forward. It was either a deal or it wasn't a deal. Can we make it happen or can't we? All right? Well, it's going to make no difference to me either way. And if you guys hold the same type of attitude, you're going to have success. All right? So there it is. If it doesn't work out, so what? Pick up the phone and call another broker. Go on some websites, do a direct mail campaign, and understand it's going to take a few deals to get through before you hit a home run, but you never know. You could just go on a website and hit a home run just like that. All right? But even small deals can still put you into early retirement. Even though the deal we just called on was only $2,000 coming in, our projection at the end of the day, what it's going to show on its income, I'm sure will solve any issues or any financial problems most people have across the nation and even out of the country. So breaking love affairs can be hard, but this is a business, guys. When I say breaking love affairs, don't get emotionally attached to property. Don't become best friends with the brokers and the sellers and work on the deals for months and months and months. Do what I do. Get in, get out, get rich. Should never fall in love with any property, any deal, no matter how good, until you have cashed the check. That's what it comes down to. If the deal needs to be killed, kill it. Get over it and move on. Again, sometimes some of the best deals are the ones we walk away from, just like that Colorado project. And a lot of times you structure the right terms and follow my guidelines. Even when we kill it, we still get our deposits back, because that's the way we do it. So here's some tips for working with brokers and agents. Speak with them on the phone. Either locate a broker to find you the property or call the property and recruit the listing broker to go find you deals. And both work. So in other words, you go find the deal and then call the broker, or what you can do is just go and call some brokers direct to go find you deals. Either way it works. You must convince them that you're not a time waster, and I solved that. Did you hear on the master lease option? Did you hear what the gentleman said? He said, I went ahead and sent this information over because I knew that it met the criteria that your associate sent me. Okay? That's the way it works. The criteria weeded out all the time-wasting deals for you. That's how powerful my acquisition criteria is. That's why I hand-wrote it for you. You must convince them that you're not a time waster, and that'll solve that. Either sound like you know what you're looking for, or tell them that you're new but well-educated, because you are, and ask if they'd be willing to help you find suitable property. So that's asking for help. You guys understand that most people, if you're out there and you ask for help, they want to help you? Have you ever asked somebody for directions? Yep. Just make sure that you ask the right person for directions or you'll regret it. What you want to do is go down the I-90 about 14 miles. Now you're going to take a right. I don't remember the name of the exit, but you're going to see a big, huge oak tree. Oh, geez. Make sure that you're talking to people and taking advice from the right people, okay? This works best with hungry new brokers, page 89. The reason why it works best with hungry brokers is because they're the ones that are actively out there grinding it out. They want to get it done. They want to get out there and make it happen. Follow up with the call with an email and a copy of your property criteria sheet. Still, even though I'm sharing with you the system, the new portal that I've designed to make it so my acquisition team doesn't have to sit there and grind their fingers to the bone, what it does is when the deals come over, the actual portal will go ahead and filter out the trash, okay? And we focus on the low-hanging fruit. Do this with as many brokers in your target audience as possible. It starts with a little action. You'd be amazed at the results. Guys, it just takes a few good brokers to take action. It only takes one broker to bring you one deal. Can we do one deal? Anybody can do one deal, okay? Still see Don back there writing up his letter of intent with my acquisition manager, smiling ear to ear. All right. So when they bring you a deal, they will likely email you a package with lots of information. You can either sift through it, which I do not want you to do. Make note. Do not sift through a bunch of stuff. And you can sift through it and complete the pre-screening sheet yourself or have them do it. All right? I prefer to have the brokers do it. Now, if a broker says that they're too busy, don't say, well, then you're unmotivated. Bye. Just take a little time and get it done. Or go ahead and let them know that, look, it just takes a moment to fill out the information. Fill it out to the best of your ability. Get it over to me and I'll fill out the rest. But I cannot consider this an opportunity that my firm will move forward with or my national group of investors I work with go forward with until we have all the information. And the reason why I'm asking you is because you know the information and I don't. Just help me fill it out real quick. They'll do it. If they don't, they may not be in the caliber of broker that you want to work with anyway. But don't forget, brokers are everyday people. They work for commission, and they want the sale. No sale, no check. No check, no rent paid. All right? No new shoes. Page number 90. Getting commercial brokers and agents to find you leads is very important. One of the top ways to finding quality deals in commercial real estate is to build relationships with agents. We've been talking about that through my powerful negotiation section. Do you guys like the negotiation session? It's extremely powerful, okay? That's changing lives, that right there. Nobody else is doing that. Relationships are worth more than money. That's what I say, and I believe it. They're truly the best source. And they will find the most quality deals the quickest because brokers know what they're doing. But it's your job to pre-screen the brokers as well. Look, guys, brokers are going to pre-screen you. It's your job to pre-screen them as well. All right? Unfortunately, we won't be able to work with all of them. Most agents like to deal with buyers who pay all cash at retail price. And that's just a fact. And that's not ever going to change. All right, but that's not us. Show strong financials, long history of completed projects, and again, that's either the heavy lifting or you bring in credit partners or project management teams, right? That's the way that's done. There are only two ways to find commercial real estate agents. Number one, you find the agent, have them find you deals. Write that down. Find the agent and then have them find you deals. Or then find a property and then just work with that listing agent. Just like I said, when you go on those key search fields and you put in subordination, and then it pulls up, just because subordination isn't available for that property, still the agent knows what subordination is, meaning that they're thinking outside the box. Now what you say is, hey, do you know anybody possibly that meet this criteria here and that possibly would subordinate? What do you think about that? All right? It truly only takes one good agent on your side to bring you quality prospects. Like I just said, they will bring them by the boatload. If you tell them to go ahead and open the floodgates, watch out. They're just going to send them in. All right? It's your deal to go ahead and show them they must understand your criteria. Then they only bring you quality deals like this deal that we called on. Think about that. He took just a few minutes to go ahead and educate that broker bird dog, and the broker bird dog looked at the acquisition criteria and only sent in quality prospects. Now I know because my acquisition guy said, check this one out. Oh, by the way, check this one out and check this out. Sent in 3 all from the same broker, and they all look good. All right? Now, I mentioned that somebody's net worth went up over $150 million on a land play, and it was a broker that brought that deal to this individual, made his money by changing the zoning. You remember the story? Well, he also closed on 3 more properties after that. And then he had one more that was out of the actual state because it was a friend of this guy. So word gets around fast. There's a new player in town. They're making it happen. Boom, boom. They come. But it only takes one. All right? Commercial agents seem to get it more when it comes down to doing anything creative. You want to find agents that always think out of the box. If they're not thinking out of the box, if you ever call a broker, guys, and say, would you entertain any seller financing, you think? And they have a remark like this guy, oh, I'm talking to the wrong person. Oh, really? Would you sell for what you owe? $10,000 more. You're talking to the right person. Commercial agents deal with many people who waste their time, right? They'll be in shields up mode. You know, their shields up. What you want to do is just bring their shields down. Look, here's my acquisition criteria. I am a player. We can rock and roll. We can get these deals done. Here it is. Let's make it happen. As long as they meet my criteria. Okay? Most brokers will respond favorably and not pre-screen or qualify you as much if you sound confident and give them clear acquisition criteria of exactly what you're seeking. That doesn't mean you got to be a bully. It just means you got to be cool, collective, professional. You saw me on the call with Fred. What did I do? I was joking around with him. I was trying to play around with him a little bit. You know, it's just trying to create somewhat of a rapport. He's just an average guy, he says. All right? That's what it is. However, some may ask you to prove credibility, and if this happens, you can always use the resort to a higher authority type of approach, which is on page 91. And guys, you heard my story about when I was driving down in Florida on the highway and I saw the big sign, and I could have called up and said, I'm king, I'm here, I'm this, I'm that, I take care of everything. I can negotiate any deal. I'll negotiate your deal too, this and that. No, I called up and I used the resort to a higher authority approach with the gentleman because I didn't want them to grill me like an onion. That's what it is. I don't have time for it. Why would I want to waste my time? It's irrelevant, right? The deal isn't a deal until it's a deal. So you can say this. You can use this simple phrase. I'm affiliated with a nationwide commercial real estate investment company. It's my job just to gather the facts and turn them over to our team for analysis. If someone from the organization will be in touch with you directly, if interested. Write that down next to it. If interested, what does that tell them? It tells them if their deal's good enough, we'll be in touch. If their deal stinks, then we have nothing to do with it. We're not even going to call you back. So there. So this will take you out of the hot seat and give you instant credibility. Because now, guys, are talking to the wrong person. But guess what? You're the gatekeeper. We all know gatekeepers, right? Once you're the gatekeeper, they got to get through you to make it happen. It will justify any lack of experience or financial strength because now you become the person that they don't ask about that. You can always use a partner or potential buyer and deliver the information to them when you follow up. All right? So if you're planning to be the principal in the transaction, you can always use the answer with a question approach. You want to come up? Bring your book. Page 91. Give her a round of applause. All right. We're going to just play a quick role play so you can see how easy it is. All right. I'm Q. You're A. Right here.
Okay.
It's okay. You're with me. Forget about all these people. We got a wall here. It's just you and me. That's what I always do. You guys are all naked all the time. All right. What is it? Mike. That would work. Oh, here we go. Okay. First name? Kathleen, guys. Give Kathleen another round. All right. Okay. All right, Kathleen. So I'm going to be the grumpy seller, grumpy broker, and I'm going to ask you a quick question or two here. Can you show company financials?
Yes, we will disclose our financials during due diligence. What's the projected return on this project?
The projected return is, what did she just do? Put it back. Took control. Slapped me silly and asked me a question. took control. Didn't she do good? I agree. Okay. Well, have you worked in this area before by chance?
No, we haven't worked in this area before. That's why we hire professionals in the immediate area. Do you have a referral for an engineer or an architect?
Oh, an engineer and an architect? Well, since you haven't worked here before, actually, Joe Smith down, get it? Absolutely. All right. Well, what projects have you taken on before?
I'm not privy to the details of the other projects. Do you have any other listings that I may be interested in?
Okay. Get it? You know how important that is? It's so important to answer a question direct, breeze it over, and then put it right back on them. And the monotone, you did great, Kathleen. The monotone as well is on the last one. No, it's right here. I'm not privy to the details of other projects. By the way, do you have any other listings that I may be more interested in? That's basically saying, hey, maybe this deal just doesn't meet our criteria. If you're asking me how many projects I've taken on, it's absolutely irrelevant. Again, guys, understand Walmart and these other big fish, the big guys out there, they do not ever disclose any information. Extremely tight-lipped. All right? So always act like a professional when you're on the phone and face-to-face, and always be the one asking the questions. Thank you so much for coming up. Let's give her a round. Thanks, Kathleen. Watch your step. It's very powerful. It's truly where it's at, and the reason being is because when you're there and you're going through the motions of answering questions, do you want to be the one that's sitting there being grilled, or do you want to be the one that's sitting there getting through the information sheet so you can find out if it's a deal or dud? Did either of these two people grill me for 1 second? The one guy gave me some lip. But that's normal. So what? Give it right back. So what? That's what it is. That's the chameleon. I was him. I played him. He played on me. I played back on him. It's just what it is. All right? Remember, you're on a fact-finding mission. You're not going to be making any commitments or oral offers anyway. Write that down. You're not making commitments. You're not making oral offers anyway. Regardless of what I just said here, I did not tell that guy I was going to be buying his property. I told him somebody else would be back in touch with him. All right? Because when we get there, we're not going to be offering additional monies on top of what he owes unless it's going to be very little. And he's going to have to wait for it. Not coming out of pocket. Okay? Now, you're going to be out there and offers are made through letters of intent. Brokers understand you or someone else will be back to them if and when we're interested in the property. So page 92. When contacting brokers, it's important to disclose up front that you're a principal and not another agent, guys. We know that because you heard me say that on the phone. Did you or did you not? Yes, you did. And it put that broker at ease, okay? Put him at ease. Now, commercial real estate agents work on commission like any other agents, and by disclosing you're not a principal, meaning that you're a buyer and not a broker, this will put the broker at ease knowing that they do not need to split their commission with you. Now, here's something to look at. One broker or two. It's common for a broker you're dealing with to declare themselves as a buyer's broker. All right? Because they're on the other side of the fence. Okay? This means that they'll present the buyer. Okay? Actually, your side of the fence. This does not necessarily mean you pay them a commission. The seller most often pays the commission unless otherwise negotiated. And this came up at our networking party last night, which was great, right? Had a blast. Somebody said, on the broker commission, who pays that commission? And I said, well, typically it's the seller. But guys, understand that if you're going to be getting full seller financing or you're doing a master lease and there's not a lot of money interchanging hands, meaning the seller's not getting a lot of money in hand, you better think long and hard about that 3 to 6%. All right? Because sometimes it's best if you go ahead and exchange equity for capital at closing, have that extra money factored into the monies, the OPM that you're bringing in, and then just go ahead and pay the commission to the broker. That right there could keep the broker motivated, keep the seller happy. That one little concession, that one little thing could just change the whole dynamics of the deal, right? Because maybe the motivation of that seller, when you tell them, yeah, you're going to get $100,000 down on the master lease, and then you're going to have to wait 18 months to get paid. Well, he might factor that 100,000 for the commission. If the commission is going to be something like 30 grand, he's not getting 100. He's getting 70. And maybe he needs 90,000 for some type of emergency, or family member is health issues or whatever. So make sure that when you're negotiating, you have clarity and you know what you're pulling out and you know what you're doing. Okay? Now, many times buyer's brokers fail to mention that that's what they are. So be sure to ask up front, are you a buyer's broker or the listing broker? Did you hear me say that? I said, are you the listing broker or the co-broker? Did you guys hear that? Yeah, that was important. That's very important, because you know why? If he's a co-broker, then he could be out of office in somebody else's office. And if he's a co-broker, then that means that he probably doesn't even have the seller's phone number. So he's got to go through another broker to be able to get the seller's phone number to put the seller on the phone. Now, what's the likelihood of him getting on the phone Monday at 4 o'clock for my appointment? He's got to go reach somebody like Stu, who's playing tennis, to see if he's going to get on the phone. I want the guy who's got the decision maker's phone number in his phone, where he can just call, because he's his client. Mr. Client, we got a bite. Sounds great. They're real. Can you get on the phone at 4? The guy's name's Terry. Sometimes they may state that they'll be working for both parties, although in some states this is legal. So you got to make sure to check that out, okay? Make sure you're not double dipping is what I like to call it. You're often in a better position when the broker is working for you exclusively. It'll cost you nothing, and it assures some loyalty. Don't you want to have your team, your dream team? Heck yeah, but if it's going to affect the other broker's attitude for you to bring in another broker, you should have the strength to negotiate it yourself or come here. Be careful. You should not act as if they're telling you everything they say. Be careful. You should act as if they are telling everything that you say direct back to the seller. So don't go ahead and confide certain information. That's what you do in your inner team. You don't sit there and go ahead and tell them, well, yeah, all we need is 12 months, but what we're going to do, I learned this, we're going to go ahead and do a 6-month with another 6-month option. So you know what that gives us? It gives us 12 months extra time. So really we're going to do it 24. Then the broker is going to go back to the seller and say, these guys want 24 months, not 12. You get it? Okay. Be careful. So, many don't intend to tip your hand, but it's hard not to, and many will do so intentionally to get the deal closed. Okay? So, when it comes to negotiating the deal, putting together exit strategies or drafting the content, the contract should be done by you, your partner, or your buyer, not the broker. Do not let the broker go ahead and put together your letter of intent for your offer. That's why we're back there right now. They've put together the offer. They're doing it. The letter of intent. That's not done. We're not sending that over to a broker or send it to Fred and tell Fred to draft it up. No, we're going to do it. All right? The broker advises and communicates, but you are in charge and make the final decision. Page 93. A few more rules of engagement when hiring agents. Make sure they're working exclusively for you. No dual agency agreement should be signed or allowed to be signed by them. You want their full loyalty, and you should make it clear from the beginning, guys. Be careful when you're signing your agreements out there. Be careful when you're signing blanket agreements. Make a note on the bottom of this page. A blanket agreement is agreement that's not specific to one particular transaction. You do not sign a blanket agreement. You want to make sure that you're only signing something that relates to the property in question. Don't sign a listing agreement until your attorney reviews it. This is an easy trap to avoid. It's your job to provide the financials and selling tools to the agent needs to present the case. All right? Don't make them do your job. It causes delays and miscommunication. That means if they're selling. Okay? Don't argue over commission. It doesn't matter. The agent only collects what they close. Take care of the people who take care of you. Guys, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. All right. Get the professionals. Get the professionals, and guys, get direct to the seller. That's the key that unlocks the vault. Remember, negotiations are not with the broker. Negotiations are direct with the seller. Did you hear me on the call? 2 calls, 1 broker, 1 seller. Did I negotiate with the broker, or did I just feel them out, clarify the situation, and tell him to get the seller on the phone? When I was speaking with the other guy, I didn't know who the heck he was. Then finally, once he finally got it out that he was the seller, did I go ahead and tell him that we're going to go ahead and get him back on the phone later to do the deal? because I got to think about what I got to think about, or did I just nail it right then and there and make it happen? Just nail it, make it happen. That's what it's about. You get the seller on the phone, nail it. That's it. It's either a deal or it's not a deal.